All right,
Perfect.
guys, we are here for Flip the Script, supercharging your classroom with Edpuzzle and Flip Class. Next slide. As you just heard, we're Lewis and Danessa. Thank you for being here. I have 20 years, over 20 years of experience now, which is wild to me. I love all things tech and travel and my family. Lewis?
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, I'm Louis Poche. I am an engineering to education convert, I like to say. So I have a background in tech, but then fell in love teaching middle school math and science, and now support educators in a variety of different ways all around technology. And it's awesome to be here and supporting the summit. Next slide.
Yes, middle school teachers for life. We're a special breed for sure. Next slide, please. So today we're going to introduce what is Flip Class, why you should try it out. How do you actually implement it into your class? We have some discussion questions for y'all, so get ready because there will be an assessment at the end. And of course, resources. So like we said, like others have said in the chat, that you can implement right away. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. We're super excited to be here. Next slide.
Awesome. And I'm seeing some middle school love in the chat. So
Woo!
thank you for sharing that, fellow middle school teachers.
I
So I
know.
first want to ask,
I would. Oh, go ahead. I always get that. What, you teach middle school? That must be so hard. No, it's awesome.
it's such a joy.
It is. Go for it.
So I quickly want to just backtrack before jumping into Flip Classroom. I want to share that Flip Classroom is one of a handful of models of blended learning. And blended learning simply is a blend of online learning and then in-person in a brick and mortar school learning. And more particularly, they're connected. So what students learn online is connected to what they learn in the classroom. And the whole purpose of this is greater student control and autonomy over the time,
Mhm.
path, place, and or pace of their learning. Next slide.
Next slide.
So there are a variety of these blended learning models, as I mentioned, and Flip Classroom, you can see that second one from the bottom is one of those such models. And I'll pass it back to Janessa to explain more about what Flip Classroom really is.
Yes, next slide, please. So, of course, we have different types of flips. And so we're going to talk about two of them specifically today. So we have the classic flip, right? Where it's a strategy where you're preparing students outside of the class so that they can apply that knowledge deeper in the class with you, the teacher. So this allows for more interactive learning in the classroom, and it benefits both you and your learners. It puts a more student-centered focus on the learning. So they can work at their own pace at home. They can review the videos. I heard that earlier in some in the Edpuzzle summit. They can help each other. And teachers, you get more time to address any issues that come up. One-on-one sessions go deeper with that learning. It makes learning equitable for all. So it's of course just one model, but it's one of the what first came out when flipped learning started coming out, right? So next slide. And then, of course, you have the in-class flip, where it's just like Flip Classroom, but you give time for students to do it in class. So a lot of times to keep it equitable, if I assign a video at home, I will still have time when students walk in, because stuff happens, sports happens, a game went late, or I had to study for this test in my other class. So I allow students to do that video or that what they were supposed to do for homework in class. So they still get the same pace, they are same information, they still prep. It's the only difference is that they do it in class. They can use their own devices, they can use their phones, whatever is what works for you in your classroom. And then they join in the deeper discussion once they have finished. You can check on those that are working on the in-class flip, working with the students that are working in an in-depth model. It's perfect for and equitable for all. Next slide. So why, Lewis? Tell us why.
Well, actually, I want our participants to maybe try telling us why. I've loved seeing the
Yes.
chat. I saw someone else from Baton Rouge, my hometown, and some places I would love to travel to. But maybe in the chat, can I invite you? Why do you think you might use a flipped classroom?
Ooh, someone says
After
saves
Janessa
time.
kind of explained, saves time, engaged learning, kids love it.
Yes, kids do love
Someone's
it.
presenting tomorrow about it. I'm also presenting tomorrow about it. And I guess
Yeah,
I'm
there
presenting
is.
right
Yes.
now about it. more time for science experiments,
Student-based.
student-based learning, front-loading content.
Mhm.
These are all great use cases and reasons why you might utilize a flipped classroom. Next slide. Kind of to sum all of this up, we see it as shifting the role of a teacher away from being the sage on the stage where you're kind of trapped delivering content up at the front of the room to being more of a guide on the side, right? This is why
Yes.
flipped learning is so impactful. It allows educators the freedom to interact meaningfully with their students because you've already given them a foundation into the
Yes.
content that you're teaching or the skills that you want them to master. And so then you can then leverage your time in the classroom in more effective and purposeful ways.
Absolutely.
Next,
I agree.
next slide.
So, with Edpuzzle, we have that interactive lessons right there. They watch a video, they have that active experience. You design the questions, the notes, and checks for understanding. So when they do that flip at home in the morning or whenever you choose to do it, you check, see where they are, and then you can make it more meaningful and deeper learning in the in class. It's just with the data that Edpuzzle gives you, you're able to take that front loaded information and go deeper with it with them the next day, whether that's a jigsaw, a creative activity, a lab. It's just, Edpuzzle makes it so easy. Next slide. Oh yeah, there's the C. I was just talking about data and I got ahead of myself. So the form and assessment, they get that you get that real-time data. Students get that real-time data. I get emails, or if we're doing an in-class flip, students will ask me, "Can I do that again? I just wasn't thinking. I should have reviewed the video." So you get that immediate feedback and progress, as does students. So that's probably my favorite part of the flip is the information given. Next slide. And of course, accountability. We want our kids to be accountable for the information that we are giving them. We get to see who's watching, how long they spent on time, um, uh, how long they took to respond. You can give them options for the way they respond. It minimizes the risk of them skipping the content. Yes, they may fast forward those videos. We talked about that in the last session, but they're still getting that content in a way that's meaningful and impactful for them, the student. Next slide.
And
Data is the
just to
way. I
build
love that. Data is
data
the way.
informed teaching for sure.
Yes.
And to build on that, flexibility, whether a student rewatches content or they fast forward through something that they might have already mastered, a beauty of a flipped classroom and specifically flipping classroom through Edpuzzle or tools like it is this ability for it to be self-paced. Next slide. And by self-paced learning, it really is this permission for students to pause, rewatch, fast forward to learn at their own pace. Because we know that learning doesn't always happen in lockstep for all of our students. Next slide. In fact, like there's this normal classroom progression over here on the left where regardless of how well a student understands concepts, they're going to move on to the next unit and that leaves students with gaps in their knowledge versus a mastery-based progression on the right that recognizes
Yes.
that some students might need a little bit extra time in order to reach that level of mastery. Flipped classroom, other blended learning models is one strategy in your teacher tool belt in order to accomplish that.
Totally.
Next slide. I don't know if the GIFs are working on the presentation, but I just had two fun little arrows pointing at the play button and that repeat button because it is so important.
Oh yeah.
That idea of similar to like in video games, if you make a mistake, if you fall off the cliff in Mario, you respawn, you get another shot at it. Similar with Flip Classroom and watching videos through Edpuzzle. If you didn't quite understand that concept fully, you just go back 10 seconds, go back a minute, and give it another shot.
I love that you put the video game thing in there because that's exactly what kids want to do. Oh my gosh, I died. Can I try it again? Yes, I love that.
Right, and it's an important component of a positive blended learning classroom culture. Oh, the lights just went out in the room. A
Yes,
positive blended learning classroom culture of this ability just to give it another shot.
absolutely. First attempt in learning, right? That's
Yep.
right.
And next slide. And the last thing that I'll touch on is just the accessibility of this content. Next slide. This is just a quick little screenshot of the videos currently in my Edpuzzle library. But this is always available for students. So as Vanessa mentioned earlier, if they're absent, if they get pulled out of during your class for something else, they always can go back and relearn this content.
Always.
So
Hmm.
it's not an issue. And I'll pass it back to Vanessa. I'm also going to go stand in front of the light sensor to get the lights back on.
All right. So how do you do it? So how do you start to flip? Well, you just go for it. And like any other tool learning thing that you learned these next couple days, try one thing. Just try it. Next slide. So start with Edpuzzle, right? That's why we're here. The Edpuzzle allows, with their content library, you don't have to create anything today. You can go to the library, find something that works for you. Next slide. One of my favorite things to do is to practice with your students first. Do it in the classroom with them. Show them how it's done, why you are doing it. My favorite lesson, you guys, and I'd be happy to share it with you at the end, is using Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just the intro song, because it's fun, it's silly, and we learn about Philadelphia and hey, that looks like an actor. Yeah, did you know he used to rap and some is coming back and all this stuff. So it just breaks down the barriers with the video, what the expectations are. So practice with them. I don't do just one, just multiple silly little videos, right? Having that fun at the beginning of the year so they know what's expected. And I'm sure you've heard of KISS, keep it simple, silly, and keep it simple and purposeful yes, songs are the best. I agree. And keep it 10 minutes or less. Caitlin Clark, wait, that's not right. Tucker,
Give me 1 second.
sorry, wrong person. Um, is a minute per school, right? So if a third grader would be about 3 to 4 minutes, high school can do 10 to 11. My junior high students, yep, they hover about 7 or 8. So it's spot on. Keep it simple, keep it purposeful, and the magic is about that 10 minute or less. And like I mentioned, use work that's already there. Don't reinvent your wheel. Now, I will say my students love my voice, which is crazy to me that they want to hear from me, but they do. They want to hear from us. Make the videos. Yes, it takes more time, but guess what? Once you make them, they're there forever, right? So you don't have to recreate later. Yes, I go back and add some things, maybe a note here or there, or little links for depending on the year and the students, but they do want to hear from you. A magic spot is I have students create videos at the end and I put them in Edpuzzle and I use them for the next year, my how-to videos. So I'm super excited to show them this, when we start coming back and the students love here. Oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. They're in 8th grade now. And they're like, wow, they were in this class. So yes, on the projects. Woo. So they love hearing from people that they know, but you don't have to, but it's a nice thing to think about. Next slide.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all of those
So now what?
tips and tricks. Yeah. So now what? I want to share a couple of more tips and tricks. So
Yes.
first, whenever I made this shift towards flipped classroom, one barrier that I ran into was how I was lesson planning. I think before I flipped my classroom, I was thinking a lot about what I, as the teacher, would be doing during the time we were together in class, and I had to make this intentional shift to what are students going to be doing during class, and being very clear about what is the lesson objective and what's the best use of everyone's time, and then
Mhm.
backwards planning from there, asking
Yes,
myself, what are the skills, what bodies of knowledge do students need to have before coming into class so we can best use our time together in that flipped classroom
absolutely.
model. Next is, as teachers, you all know that sometimes dogs complete homework, or in this, or now AI is completing homework. You have to ask
What?
what happens if students don't complete the homework before class, or if the video that you've created doesn't lead to the results you intended. What is that plan B?
Yes. Plan
Third
B.
is, what about like access and equity? Do
Mhm.
your students have access to a computer, to Wi-Fi, to headphones, even just to a quiet place at home to do this flipped classroom and learn meaningfully from it? These are all questions that you need to consider before jumping right into an Edpuzzle model.
Totally.
And Janessa, yeah.
Oh, go back one, please.
Yep.
So remember, as with any tool, flipping is should enhance, not replace pedagogy. Videos are tools, not the whole lesson, right? We know that. It's a tool in our tool belt and a way to reach our students. Now, next slide. We have some, now that we've talked it up, we'd love to hear from y'all out there. So for next slide, what what is one lesson or concept that you guys out there would be a good candidate for flipping with Edpuzzle? Let's hear from them. Or what have
Ooh,
you tried?
I cannot wait to hear what everyone says.
I know, so I can steal them too.
Maybe while they're typing away, I'll share one idea. I
Yes.
didn't come up with it, but I heard about it. I think videos that are related to skills that will be tapped upon throughout a course are ripe
Yes.
for innovation with Edpuzzle. Dr. Catlin Tucker likes to give the example of writing a thesis. She
Mhm.
recorded a short video of how do you record a thesis, how do you write a thesis statement for a 5 paragraph essay. That is a skill that students will need throughout a school year and probably even longer
Absolutely.
than that school year. That's a great video to flip, or that's a great topic to flip because it's something students will
Mhm.
always come back to and need help. You get more bang for your buck after recording that video.
There are so many going on in the chat. Statistics in both classroom, grammar, and yes, grammar is so good. Get that out of my classroom because I teach ELA, and then they can come back and apply it. I'm all about that. Prior skills, accounting transactions. Ooh, I'd love to hear more about that. Analyzing sources. Yes. Oh my gosh, all these
Hmm.
skills. Language through Shakespeare. Ooh, oh my gosh, it's going so fast. Crash course videos. Yes. Science labs, flipping it so it allows to watch the labs if and resources are unavailable. That is a good point too. Writing a lab report, content, vocabulary, algebra, all lessons. Yeah, all I agree. I agree. All
It's
lessons are
wonderful.
absolutely.
It's wonderful to see like
Woo,
teachers innovating live, right? Like I
I
can
do
see the
too.
ideas, I can see all the ideas turning.
Letters and sounds for young learners. Oh, and I bet they love to show their parents. I know my two kids were in COVID. We were COVID, learning back then, and they were doing their sounds. And they're like, "Mommy, look at this Spanish teams and videos." Yes, I love that, you guys. I appreciate you guys sharing. Summarizing vocab. Yes, 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 yes. I too flip stuff that's for skills that they'll do for the rest of the year because then they get used to it. Problem solving and chemistry. Ooh, yes. I love
That's
that. Next
awesome.
slide. Ooh, we're doing great.
Probably just to be conscientious of time. I know we have a
Yes, I was just
50
peeking at that.
cutoff. Maybe we jump to our final slide and we kind of wrap
You mean
up.
our final question or
I think just the thank you, so we can thank everyone for their time and for sharing
go to
their
slide?
experiences and
We do
expertise.
have resource. Oh, sorry, I
Oh,
didn't mean to cut
yes.
you off. That was rude.
No, you're fine. No, no,
I
no.
just get excited. There, we do have some wonderful resources for you on Flip that when you can see our link on there, I'm sure that they'll share a lesson, our slides, excuse me, with you. So next slide, please. Um,
We still have a few
one
minutes, okay?
more.
One more?
Oh,
Oh,
do you want us to keep going?
I mean, we have until 55, so like 4 more minutes. You
4 more
wanna
minutes?
ask those questions? Feel free to
Perfect.
do it.
Okay.
Which question do you want to do, Lewis?
I know I'm reviewing them. Um, let's see. Actually, maybe are there any questions from
Oh,
our
we could do questions.
attendees that we should answer?
Hmm?
I like
Um,
that. And here
I
are
see they'll
resources.
be
We
flipping in
have,
Baton Rouge.
yes.
What do you
What
do when and if students do not listen to the videos before a class? Yeah, I know
happens all the
I
time?
tease that idea. It happens all the time. What I would do is I would either have like a section in the room where,
Hmm.
this is you go watch the video because you need that knowledge before coming into class. Or maybe as the teacher, I make the judgment, okay, maybe this student has already mastered this content. They could just jump right in. Might be on a kind of a day to day, task to task basis. What about you? Do you have any strategies there?
I have them. I always have bell work when they first come in, so they get excused from that and they get to work on whatever the flip lesson was the night before. So it's the same amount of time, so they can be ready to jump in. Yeah, there's always that option. Now I know some out there will be like, well, why would they come in and not and just do it when they walk in anyway? Well, because then they're missing out on the bell work, which there are points that actually is an X credit opportunity in there. So I have it balanced out, but it's that just in case, because things happen. I mean, how
Hmm.
many times have we come to school and not been prepared either? I mean, it happens, right?
Yep.
So we, yes, it is. I'm super lucky. I have an office in my classroom, which is, it used to be the band room, so they have an office, so I can put kids in there if I need to for a quiet space. I have little tents, I can have them go outside, but it is important to have that. Yeah. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
so yeah, that was a great question. Thank you for that. So our resources, we have self-paced classes for you. These are all links to Edpuzzle. There's professional development, so you can learn how to be more acquainted with flip learning and Edpuzzle. Student projects are on there because I love them and they can be used for that. Live mode, of course, and more on flipped. Next slide. Yes, we are absolutely going to share our slide deck. Lewis and I are both here for you at any time. We are forever your resources. So please take note, take a screenshot of that, email us at any time, and we can help in any way that you need. Anything else you want to add, Lewis?
This has just been absolutely wonderful. I know it kind
So
of was like
fun.
drinking from a fire hydrant worth of information, but I hope that you have some one thing that you can take from our time together today and implement it into your classroom soon. Right?